Hello everybody, this is TechMurph, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Motorola Droid Turbo by Motorola, and it's only on Verizon currently. This is the 64GB ballistic nylon variant. So we will start with the specs of the device. It has a quad-core Snapdragon 805, 3GB of RAM, a Quad HD, 5.2-inch AMOLED display, and a 3900 milliamp hour battery. Now, the battery life is one of the heaviest advertised thing of this phone, so I will start with that. Most people I've seen review this phone get around 5 hours of screen on time with a day-ish of usage. I'm not getting that. My Nokia wants to focus here. I normally get about 16 hours with 2 hours screen on time. I think it might just be a problem with my unit, but I don't know. Basically, if you get a good unit, you won't be disappointed with the battery life, because I'm not, even though I'm pretty sure my unit's not up to par. So next thing is the camera. Most people, oh yeah, I have that turned off. Most people really bash Motorola for their cameras most of the time. Honestly, I think this is a really, really good camera if your shot meets a few circumstances. One, your hands have to be really steady. This thing has terrible stabilization. The thing you're taking a picture of has to be very steady, because again, terrible stabilization. The flash is very bright and captures a good natural looking picture. The only thing I really don't like about the camera is the software. If you've used like a Moto X or anything, you know what it is. I'm just not a big fan of it. There's not enough options. You can't change all that much. And a curious thing about the camera, you can't record 1080p 60 frames per second. I mean, the phone definitely has the hardware to. It has a 21 megapixel camera and plus the processing package. I'm really surprised that it can't. If the Sony Xperia Z3 can, I think it might be updated in the Lollipop update, but I'm not sure. That would be pretty awesome. So we'll move up front to the speaker, which is right here. It's one speaker, and it's really long. It's more like two, I think. There's like one here, between the camera, or on the sides of the camera, which, by the way, is a 2.2 megapixel, I believe, or 2. But the speakers, they're really not that great, but they're facing towards you, so that's a plus. And then also, capacitive buttons. That's kind of an opinion thing. I don't like them, but hey, that's up to you. So, with the ballistic nylon, well, if you want the ballistic nylon, there's a few complaints I already have with it, owning it for about 4 weeks. It tends to fray around the Motorola and the camera logo, Motorola logo and the camera. And then the sides here, I'm not sure what they're made out of. It feels like a soft touch plastic, and it feels like it would be extremely easy to scratch. So that worries me, and that's an issue because the ballistic nylon version is thicker and a tad heavier, but the heavier part doesn't matter. What matters is that cases made for the Droid Turbo are probably made for the metallized glass fiber version, and they don't fit this properly. I mean, this is the best one I could find, the Tech 21 something, but it makes the buttons incredibly hard to push. It's just not a good time. If you plan on using a case, just get the metallized glass fiber unless you absolutely need 64 gigabytes of storage. So for comparison here, I just have the Droid Razor, the original, Now, this is a curved back. It fits the hand really nicely, and the ballistic nylon does feel great. And it's a pretty thick phone, but you don't really notice it because of that curve. So if we just put the thinnest part of the razor here, you can easily tell which one's thicker. But if you take the thickest part of the razor, they're about the same thickness. The Droid Turbo, still a little bit thicker, but the curve makes it less noticeable. And moving on to some things about the display, it's AMOLED, so you're getting great viewing angles. Sorry about the noise, heater just kicked on. But the brightness, it doesn't get extremely low. This is the lowest it gets, and it doesn't get extremely high either. I'm pretty sure that's just because it's AMOLED. AMOLED doesn't have any extremely bright displays, but the dim, the Note 4, they get to 1 nit. This looks like about 7 maybe, which is not bad. It's the lowest brightness is still pretty readable in sunlight, and the direct brightness or highest brightness is very readable. Now on this you're running Android 4.4 KitKat. It's basically stock with, of course, the Motorola features like Moto Voice, Active Display, all very helpful things, nothing really holding you down. Swipe up for Google Now, all that good stuff. And you're guaranteed an update to Lollipop, and knowing Motorola, you will probably get whatever's after Lollipop, and maybe even whatever's after that. But if you want this phone, I would say it's the best phone on Verizon right now. I had the Z3V for a week before I decided to switch to this. Now, I don't really think the phone's particularly pretty. It's really ugly, in my opinion, compared to the Z3, but again, that's all opinion based. Let me go through one more thing real quick. There's a small complaint I have with this chin right here. There's a gap. I think it's actually more, right here. There's a gap where the chin and the frame of the screen meets. This case, I think, actually pulls down the chin and makes a gap there, because now it's not there. So another thing, if you're using a case, I guess. And then ballistic nylon fraying, no big deal. The phone also gets slightly hot when charging, but doesn't matter. And it does support Qi wireless charging, by the way. So if you're looking to get this phone and you're on Verizon, I would say just go get it. You're not gonna regret it. But I would also check out the Z3V and maybe even the Note 4 if you're into that. So thank you for watching my review. Be sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And have a nice day.